Hey, welcome back to Let's Get Real, an interactive talk show made just for guys to give guys support. Our phone number, 1-800-771-1025. If you want to reach out, talk about whatever's going on in your world. Seems to be a flavor of this show is around addiction. And Andy is on. Andy, welcome to Let's Get Real. What's up, my friend?
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you?
I'm good. Very good. How about you?
Good. You know, I listen to this radio station all the time, and I've never heard this show. So I'm driving to the Sarasota County Fair with my 6-year-old as we speak.
Nice.
And I was listening to that last gentleman on the phone, and obviously he sounded like he was going through it. So I really felt in my heart that I wanted to be a message of hope today. You know, and I really, first and foremost, appreciate what you guys do and using your platform for something positive. I think that's amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. You know, for me, I just want to share, you know, a little bit about me is, you know, I'm 41 years old and, you know, just it'll get me emotional just talking about it. But,
totally fine.
You know, I celebrated 9 months sober and, you know, unfortunately for me, the catalyst for change for me was pain. And, you know, the gentleman before was talking about failures, and a lot of things that I talk about my failures in life, you know, I call them my testimony. Yes. And, you know, you can either use your failures to write a eulogy, or you can write them to have a testimony. And I really just try to carry the message of hope so much. You know, for me, Alcoholics Anonymous has saved my life. But what attributed that to that, you know, I was 25 years old. I had 3 DUIs, and, you know, I never thought drinking was the problem. I thought it was everybody else. I blame. And, you know, and I was young, I was immature, I was entitled, I was selfish, and I didn't realize what I was doing to the people around me. And I thought, you know, having a child would get me sober and things like that. But one of the scariest admissions of my life was the fact that the love of my own children could not supersede the love I had for addiction and substances and things like that. And it scared the crap out of me. Wow. You know, my last relapse, I drank right in front of my son, and he still brings stuff up like that. But I mean, what that did for me was open up my eyes to the pain and suffering that not only was I putting through myself, but what I was doing to other people. I had an attitude that, you know what, screw you, I'll hurt me. And for whatever reason that was okay. Like, I'm not hurting anybody but myself. And when I took stock in myself again and started to care about myself and realized what I was doing to myself and how if I continue this behavior, I'm no good to anybody else anyways, you know, there was no room for change. You know, my story, unfortunately, I had to be detoxed. I had to go to a treatment center. But I laid it all out on the line, you know, and now when I help other alcoholics today, I tell them, you know, there's a power in vulnerability. You know, vulnerability leads to honesty, and honesty leads to healing. And I believe that this show can allow people to get vulnerable, you know, whether it's with a guy, with somebody else, just with a stranger, it doesn't matter. But, you know, my path is my path, but I'm telling you, there's a light at the end of the tunnel for anybody, and give yourself a chance and just get honest with somebody else, because people are here to help. And, you know, my life is completely different today, you know, and it's only 9 months ago that I was shaking in the morning and running to the bottle because I had no other solution. And today I don't live like that anymore. And it's a direct result of getting honest and putting in the work and saying, you know, I care about myself today, you know, and I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I mean, I just wanted, like I said, to call in and tell you guys a little bit about, you know, a Reader's Digest of what's been going on. But I'm telling you, there's hope. I'm 9 months sober. I'm very proud of that.
Yeah,
I'm a happy, present father in my 6-year-old's life who, like I said, we're parking the car right now, going to the Sarasota County Fair, and I'm going to be present in that moment, and we're making memories, you know, and I don't think about drinking today. And 9 months ago, that's all I thought about. And I don't think about it today. The obsession to drink has been completely removed, and it's a direct result of just telling the truth and just caring about yourself a little bit more than you cared about something that you thought was the solution to your problems. I mean, I drank because I was anxious. I drank because I was depressed.
Right.
And then, you know what? The alcohol, all it did was make me more anxious, more depressed. And then I would, seriously, this is the best way I can describe it. I would go through the entire day either thinking about drinking or I would think about not drinking.
Yeah.
And I was mentally exhausted. I'd go to an AA meeting and I'd be like, all right, I did that. I called another alcoholic. I read a book. I went to church. I did all these things. And I get to the end of the night, put my head on the pillow and just be like mentally friggin' exhausted and be like, whew, I didn't drink. But eventually I would just friggin' drink. Think about drinking and I don't think about not drinking. I just think about living. Think about being present. I know you guys used that in the last callers, that present moment, the power of now. I mean, no church, no book, no nothing until you're ready and you've had enough pain and you want to say, I've had enough. I wish there was a better answer, but the freedom that I have today is unquantifiable, and I just want to carry that message of hope again. So I appreciate what you guys do and giving me that time, and I'm going to go have fun with my son.
Hey, Andy, before you jump, man,
sure.
we want to celebrate you, brother.
That's right, Andy.
9 months, man.
Congratulations,
dude. And you did the work. And that little 6-year-old that cannot wait to go eat cotton candy and ride Gravitron or whatever you guys are going to be doing today. That's what it's all about, man. And it's all about you, man. I really appreciate you sharing that story. Just know that your story is going to impact somebody's life today.
I hope it does. I really do. And then, truthfully, the way I keep staying sober is I help another alcoholic as soon as I can. I go to meetings today so I can show people that this crap works. And then I could just give them what I was so freely given to me. And it may sound cliche, but
no.
The only way to keep it is to give it away, and that's why I called, because I felt it on my heart that there's somebody out there like that gentleman before that's struggling and feeling like there's no hope. Well, I'm a power of example that there's hope, I promise you, and your life gets better, and it can get better fast. That's
so amazing, man. Well, listen, go be present with your son. Have a great day, man. You impacted a life today. Just know that, man. Just know that.
I appreciate you guys. You guys are doing a great thing, and I'm from Buffalo, New York, so I'll always say go Bills.
Okay. All right. That's awesome.
Love you, Andy.
All right, Andy, take care, my friend.